Hi folks, today we're going to have just a little primer on butcher block and how to care for it, how to identify it. There's three kinds of layups that we do. This is flat grain. You usually find it in less expensive cutting boards. Sometimes you'll find them on the tops of carts or shelving and that sort of thing. But the grain, as you notice, the little sticks in it are all different sizes. And the reason for that is we cut all the knots out. And so we end up with different widths from different trees and different kilns and all sorts of things. So no two probably ever came from the same tree. But the flat grain is a lot like your kitchen table or your dining room table with a nice grain. Flat grain expands this way. So that if you have a space that you're going to put a butcher block in, you don't want flat grain because in the summertime that thing's going to expand maybe 3/16 of an inch on this one, and the thing's going to bow on it. What you want is edge grain. Usually edge grain's a little better boards. If you'll notice, all the sticks in there are exactly the same width. That's like a gym floor or a truck flooring, that sort of thing. And the reason for that, they expand this way. So if you're going to put them in a specific space, you don't have to worry about them bowing out or that sort of thing. And the last kind is the end grain. Some people call it checkerboard, but it's end grain. It's the ends of the board, and they're glued and re-glued. We glue them up flat grain. Let's say this one's 1.25 inches thick. We'd cut in here a little over 1.25 inches. We'll glue the faces together, and we end up with a random checkerboard pattern. Great cutting surface, a little more expensive board. They're a lot more porous. You can cut on these for a long time and you hardly see the scratches. They do take about 3 times the amount of oil as the other two boards do, and that's because it's the end grain. You can pour the oil on and it just sort of seeps down. So it just takes a little bit longer, a little bit more oil, but the surface is great. And we have a couple other features that we do. We do the juice grooves, cutting something juicy, the juice goes in the groove. You turn it over, use the other side. We have some that have feet on them. That keeps them from skidding. If your board ever skids, just take one of these little rubber jar openers, plastic jar openers, throw it on your counter, and it won't slip at all. Here again, this board, you can use both sides of it, as can this one. Now, I want to show you how to take care of it. We have a little kit that has all of the things in it. A little sandpaper, beeswax, razor blade, and that's about all you need. If you're using the board for cutting up, let's say you're cutting chicken on one side, you're going to use that side for maybe chicken and meats and the other side for veggies. But after you've used it, just take it and take a little dish detergent, soapy water, sponge, wash them off, and then dry them immediately. Do not let the water sit on there. You can get water spots because it's wood. And but here again, by drying it, you also make sure that you don't get excess water into the board itself or into the wood. See, when we glue the wood together, the wood only has 6 to 8% moisture, so it's very dry. And then we dip it in oil, and you have to continue to dip it in oil, or not dip it, but just I'll show you how to take care of it here. So, just for normal maintenance, after you've opened the board up, good idea just to take mineral oil, which is basically our butcher block oil, push it on, just pour it on, and wipe it on. Now, one thing that'll become very obvious very quickly, and that is end grain. This is still the ends of these sticks. They take a little more oil, and when you pour that in, it'll just evaporate right out. You can never over oil the board. You want to make sure that you oil them at the ends are very well treated, because if you ever got a little separation in a seam or a crack, it always starts on the end. I've never seen one start in the middle unless somebody's put a real hot pot and taken all of the moisture out of the board. Same with this one. You want to wax the end. Now, the way I do it is I take a little block of beeswax. You can take paraffin, but beeswax works better because it's a little more pliable and it lasts a little bit longer. So for the end grains, I take it and just rub that block into these end fibers here. See, I got a little nick right there. I'm just going to rub that over. And I just take a little bit of sandpaper, and this is 220 fine grain sandpaper, and it sort of rubs that in, and then I just massage it. Massage that right into the grain. And I do the same thing with this little groove on this end, because you cut across all the grain here. This is a solid piece, so you don't have to worry about that so much. So I just put the block of wax in there and go back and forth for a while. Here again, just rub it down with your heat from your hand or your fingers, and that helps waterproof it. It helps keep that 6 to 8% moisture in the board, and it keeps that excess water out, because those are really the only two enemies of butcher block. So when I get a call and somebody's saying, oh, my butcher block split, I know they've either let it dry out or it's gotten too wet. So those are the two main things. We're going to get here, here, the other end, and here. Now, with the end grain, hey, everything's end grain. So after you've oiled these, I'd say 3 or 4 times, and I want to show you something with end grain. Hopefully yours won't get this dry, but that's pretty dry. So you just take that, pour it on. And I want you to watch and see what happens. See it? It's already, within a couple of seconds there, it's already below the surface. And it brings out the nice color in the wood. But you could take that and you could keep oiling it essentially until it went all the way through the wood. But I like to oil it about 2 or 3 times, one right after the other. And then you can use it. You can do whatever you want to with it, but be sure to oil all sides. You see how the back side, that's also a portal for moisture or for dryness. So you want to make sure that all sides are oiled down real well. A lot of times when you get a little mark or a scuff on it or something, the oil will just will take it off. Now, I'll show you a board here that's been mistreated. Hopefully you never let your board get that dirty. But I'm just going to take an oil rag, and that takes off quite a bit of it. This board has just really been like thrown in the bottom under a sink cabinet somewhere, really gotten dirty or packed away in the garage. And see, it cleans up pretty well that way. But with all the little scratches and all, just take a single edge razor blade. One of our little kits come with a razor blade, sandpaper, the beeswax. Grab that just like this between the forefinger, and I use the other 2 finger there. Just scrape it down. If you've got big scratches across it, this will take them out, but you're not going to eliminate all the scratches if you've gone cross-grain, because you'd have to get below that scratch in order to get rid of it. But this one's the same way. If you want to make it really smooth, it's got too much water on it, it'll raise the grain up, make it a little rough. Just take your razor blade. Now, you'll find you get the knack of it, you can go back and forth, and it won't gouge. I've never had one break in 35 years. That means the next time I use one, it won't break. But you just have to be careful with it. They're quite sturdy. Now, also, this little board, it's gotten warped a little bit. And so, in order to get that to come back into place, you take it and put it on a nice flat surface with the bow down. because more than likely when it warped up this way. And what causes them to warp sometimes is if you leave them on a flat surface and they're not oiled and you just leave them for too long, believe it or not, the atmosphere in your kitchen will take all of the oil. What it'll do is it'll take all of the moisture out of the top of the board and start seeking the moisture under the board, and it'll start curving a little bit. Now, you get that to go flat, oil it down real well, turn it over, and leave it for a day or so, and that'll go back flat. I've never seen one that didn't go back flat, and people don't believe it, but just put it back like this, it'll go back flat. Now, this board, I also noticed this board is getting a little crack in it. The oil hit the crack pretty well, but when you find a little crack, just take the beeswax and go, I call it kitty corner, go across the grain of that and fill that full of wax. What you want to do is you want to stop the moisture or dryness, whatever, from getting into that crack. Then you can sand it off just a little bit. Or if you've got excess wax on there, take the razor blade and scrape that off, and it leaves it very smooth. And that'll stop it. Now, let's say you've got a crack that you've really let go and it comes down into here an inch or so. You might want to just take a little bead of glue. You could use like Elmer's glue. I wouldn't oil it first, but put a little bead of glue. Take a little dental floss, pull it down into the crack, and then wipe off the excess glue with just a damp cloth and just let it dry. And it won't close up the crack, but it'll fill it up so that it doesn't continue on. If you don't do anything, it'll just continue right on down. So our little kit comes with the mineral oil, block of beeswax, 220 sandpaper, and a razor blade. And that's just basically all you need. If you find that your board's getting a little bit rough from too much moisture, just take that razor blade. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is just to make that board just super smooth again. Or if you get a little nick in it, take your little block of wax, go across the nick, rub it down or sand it out, and that will take care of it. And remember, on these boards, lots of oil. It takes lots of oil. And here again, if you have a lot of seams, so if you have one that starts to separate, just hit it with a little bit of beeswax, and it won't go any further. If you have any questions, be sure to drop us a line. We'll be happy to answer them for you.